Today everyone, I'll be tackling about genetically modified organism, or we should call GMO. So what they are, their examples and their benefits and impact on our society. When we hear about the term GMO, some of us might think of science labs, chemicals, or a strange experiment. But GMOs are actually more uncommon and more important in our everyday lives, and we might realize in this presentation I'll be sharing about what GMOs really are.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly is GMO? So it refers to an organism that has had its genetic material, or the DNA, changed in a way that is not found in nature, usually by genetic engineering to transfer particular genes. And this technology is employed in many different industries, including as medicine to generate medications and agriculture to produce crops with desired features. A GMO, or genetically modified organism, is any living thing such as plant, an animal, or even a microorganism whose genetic makeup has been changed using modern biotechnology. Scientists modify genes to give the organism new traits or characteristics that it doesn't naturally have. To put it simply, scientists take a used gene from one organism and insert it into another to make it stronger or better. For example, instead of spraying harmful chemicals to kill insects, scientists can modify a crop so that it naturally fights off pests. This process makes farming more efficient and helps produce healthier crops, which is why GMOs are becoming more widely used across the world, including here in our country.
Examples of GMOs in the Philippines. Now, let's look at some examples of GMOs that are already approved and used in the Philippines, especially in agriculture. The first one is BT corn. This is one of the most common GMOs crops in the country. The BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis, a bacterium whose gene was inserted into corn to make it resistant to pests like corn bollers. These pests usually damage corn plants and lower the harvest. BT corn can protect itself naturally, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. This means healthier crops and lower costs for farmers. The second example is golden rice. Golden rice is special because it has been genetically modified to produce beta-carotene, which is a source of vitamin A. In the Philippines, vitamin A deficiency is still a major health problem, especially among children. So golden rice can help fight malnutrition by providing better nutrition through a staple food that we already eat every day. The third example is GM eggplant, also called BT tamang. Like BT corn, this eggplant contains a gene that makes it resistant to common pests such as the fruit and shoot boller. This helps farmers reduce crop losses and lessens the need to spray harmful insecticides.
For farmers, GMOs often mean higher yield and lower production costs. Since these crops are more resistant to pests and diseases, farmers spend less on pesticide and can harvest more from their land. For consumers, GMOs can be nutritious, look better, and last longer after harvest. For example, fruits and vegetables can stay fresh for a longer time, which reduces food waste. And for the environment, GMOs can actually help reduce the amount of harmful chemicals released into nature. Since farmers don't need to spray as many pesticides, the soil, water, and air are kept cleaner and safer for both humans and wildlife.
Now let's talk about the impact of GMOs in our society, both positive and negative. On positive side, farmers can earn more because of higher yields and lower farming expense, and consumer benefits from more affordable and nutritious and safe food. And the other country as a whole become more food to reduce and secure the less dependent importing products from other countries. However, there are also concerns and other challenges. Some people worry about long-term health effects from the long effects of eating genetically modified food, even choose so far. There's no strong scientific evidence showing that GMOs are harmful. There's our environment concerns too, like risk of GMOs plant crossbreeding with native species, which might affect biodiversity, and lastly, economic concern exists. Small farmers might become to depend on big biotechnology and companies that sell GMO seeds every plant season, which could affect their independence and income in the long run. That's why GMOs need the proper regulation and monitoring and ensure they are used safely and fairly.